Now let us see how we can use it. I will show you a little bit a simple source code, a simple change in the source code. Okay. I have selected this file. However, this is a very large file of 3000 lines around. Okay, the name of the file is mac802_11.cc. Okay, that is the MAC protocol used for wireless LANs. Okay, MAC standard for wireless LAN. So, okay, now I will tell you if you want to access the speed of a node, how you can access it. Okay, I will tell you how to access the speed of a particular node as well as the position of that particular node. Everything I will be telling you. But before that, I will make something clear to you. I am telling you many things in parts because I am telling you many important things today. I am not concentrating on a particular source code. The source code that I am presenting you is just to help you to understand those small things. So, let us see how we can access the speed of a node. Okay. To access the speed of a node, we should know that for which node we want to know the speed. Okay, please switch off your camera. For getting speed of a particular node, first we should know for which node we want the speed. Okay, now for which node we want the speed is a very tough question. How we will know for which node we want the speed? So, we cannot just write for node number 5 we want speed of node number 5 or node number 10 or like this. We cannot define. We always want to know the speed of a particular node that is currently either transmitting data or receiving data or anything like this. Okay, and in some cases we want to calculate the speed of all the nodes. Okay, like if any protocol, as I have told you just now, the clustering, we will have to check the speed of all the nodes. Then only we will be able to select the cluster head by checking the relative velocity. Okay. Now send data. This is the function that I will be explaining you this function as well. Complete function. This is the function for data transmission in wireless LANs. Okay, but let us understand how we find the properties of a node first. The most important variable, always remember it. Okay, yeah, I will tell you the name of the file and in which folder. You can open it in NS all-in-one 2.34 folder. It may be 2.35 or 2.31, anything. Go into NS 2.34 again. Open the MAC folder, MAC, MAC folder here, you can see. Open it. Now, open this file, mac802_11.cc. Okay. And open this file as well, .h2. Go open both the files and go to this file first. Okay. Everybody, if you want to learn, you can learn. You can open this file and whatever I am telling you the modification you can do if you want. Okay, now Okay, so we were in this function, send data. Now this send data means it is send, this function is sending some data, but some node must be sending it. Okay, not all the nodes will be sending the data. Any one node might be sending it at this time. Okay, at the time this function is called. Now which node is sending it, how we know? Okay, remember it, there is one variable named index, INDEX underscore. That variable is used for defining the current node. Okay, if you write index underscore, what you will get? You will get the current node. Okay, like for example, I will tell you print. Print command is very helpful in learning NS2. If you want to check the flow of any source code, the print command is very helpful. So what I will do, I will try to print index variable. I have told you INDEX underscore. This variable is very important in learning NS2, in getting the ID of the current node. Okay, which node is currently transmitting the data, or whatever it is doing, if it is receiving, we can also get that. So let me print the current node is equal to, or remove equal to, percentage D comma index. If you know the basic C++ or C command, the print function, printf function, sorry, you all know very well. So what I am printing, the current node is percentage D index, means index value will be printed. Okay, for making it look good, I will be using some new lines. Okay, I have written this thing. So what I will do now, I will run my TCL file, and along with the output, whatever I am getting, I will get some more output in the terminal. What output it will be? It will be the value of index underscore. Okay, let us see how it is done. Okay, but again I am stopping you. Before going to TCL file, because we have changed the source codes. Okay, what we will have to do? We will have to compile our, we will have to build our source code again. Okay, so for building source code again, there are some steps you will have to remember. Okay, there is no alternative to it. You will always have to remember the 4 steps. If you change anything in your, source file, then you will have to follow these 4 steps to reflect these changes. Okay. Okay, for example, if I run the nswlab1.tcl now, what you are getting? The same output as you were getting earlier. Okay, the same output you are getting. Okay, so there is no change. Why there is no change? Because we have not reflected the changes. We have not built the source code again. For building the source code again, please remember the following commands. First go in the NS folder. Now NS 2.34 folder. Now 4 commands you will have to provide. Currently all the 4 commands are not required, but I am providing these 4 commands so that you can learn. Sudo ./configure. This is the command you will have to run whenever you change the source code. However, it is not required every time. I will tell you when it is required. Okay, after writing sudo ./configure, you can press enter. It is asking for password. I will provide the password of my computer. So it is starting the compilation. So okay, this is the first step. You can write down these commands. First command is sudo space / configure. Now this process is over. The second command is sudo space make space clean. Sudo make clean. If we press enter, what will happen? All the object files of previous source code. You might not be knowing the object file. Leave it means it will do what? All the previous compilation files it will remove. Okay, compiled files. Now it will compile it again using this command sudo make. If you provide sudo make after it, it will recompile all the source codes of the NS2. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes depending upon your computer speed. Then all the object files are created again. If you want to see what is happening in the source codes, you can see here. Wait a minute. Some object files will be created here as soon as these files are compiled for particular folders. Okay, so leave it for now and don't go too much into it. So some process is running, means all the files are building up again. NS2 becomes easy when you know the basic things of it, and if you have simulated 1 or 2 protocols, then you will not have to worry about any of the protocol that comes afterwards. Okay, because it becomes very easy. However, if you change your area, suppose I am working in regular networks, now I start working in the cellular networks, then it will be, I will have to give a lot of time into that. Okay, it will not be as easy for me as VANET. Okay, but if I know the basic files, I will be covering those things earlier than other persons. Okay. So anybody learning NS2 should give at least 3 to 4 months time for it. Okay, with proper, if you have proper guidance. Okay, it is still compiling, so we will wait. So you might be thinking that whenever we change the code, this much step we will have to do. No, you don't have to do all the steps. I am just doing this to let you know. Okay, so third step is complete. What was the first step? The first step was sudo /configure. Okay. Next step was sudo make clean. Third step was sudo make. And the last step is sudo make install. Press enter. Okay. If you don't get any error, it means you have written the code correct. Okay, there is no syntax error in your code. But if there is any error, you will have to solve it, resolve the error, then compile again. Okay. So the 4 steps we have followed to make the changes reflect. Okay. So sudo /configure, sudo make clean, sudo make and sudo make install. Okay, these 4 steps are not required every time. I will tell you which step is required when, but let us see first the WLAN file. Here what we have done, we will be running the wlab1.tcl. Let us see what happens. Okay, something is printed here. Okay, what is printed? The current node is 52, 142, 4, 135, 125, 110, 86, like many things are written. So why it is being printed? Because I added this line here. The current node is this. Okay. So index variable is very important. It provides you the current node. If we print the same line in another folder, then what will happen? Suppose we copy and paste this line in the receive folder. So whenever a node receives a particular packet, the node ID will be printed. Okay. Now let us check some more properties of it. The current node is %D. Now I was telling you that we will check the speed of the nodes. How we will check the speed? There is one command for it. You should remember it. However, it is a large command, but if you understand this command, then it will be very easy. I will not be telling everybody why it is written like this. It is actually a typecast if you know the C++. So whenever you want to get the properties of a node, what you will have to do, okay, so if you want to know the properties of a particular node, what you will have to do, just write this command. Okay, write this command, and in these brackets I have written index underscore here. So in a place of index underscore, if you write 0 here, then you will get the properties of node 0. If you write 1 here, you will get the properties of node 1. If you write 5 here, you will get the properties of node 5. So I have written index here. Why? Because index gives the current node. Okay. Now, okay, this command provides the value of, means the properties of the index underscore. Index underscore is the ID of the current node. Now, what it is? We have defined this variable as mobile node. Okay, this is an object of mobile node class. Okay, so node will be containing the properties of a node. Okay, this node variable, this is a variable. It can be node 1, node 2, ABCD, anything. So this variable can be changed to anything. Okay, so but this thing cannot. This value can be changed. In place of index underscore, we can provide any variable, but it should be an integer. Now let us see how we will extract the properties of a particular node. Okay, so okay, so we were here. So let us see what are the other properties of this node. So we can now write this line here. Okay, we will write here only. Again we will give a print command. Print f the speed of the node is percentage f. We will provide it as percentage f. This is the basic of C or C++. Percentage of is for float, because speed can be in the fractions as well. So we will write it as float. So what we will do here, you simply write node. Node is your this variable. This is an object, node, and what this node will do, which properties of this object you want to get speed, and how speed is defined by this variable, speed underscore. Okay, so if we write speed underscore here, then we should be getting the speed of that particular node. Okay, let us see what happens if we recompile the code and run it again. Now I will recompile the code again, but as I told you, when we recompile the code, all 4 steps are not required. Okay, sometimes only 2 steps are required, sometimes 3, and sometimes 4. Now when 2 steps are required, first let me make it clear to you. Whenever we change in .cc file, okay, then only 2 steps are required. What those 2 steps are? Just sudo make last 2 steps. Sudo make. This time sudo make will run very fast. Okay, there is one error. I will tell you why it is coming. No problem. We will be resolving it too. So only 2 steps are required. Sudo make, then sudo make install. Only 2 steps are required whenever we are changing .cc file. Okay, now we cannot proceed until we resolve this error. I told you when we provide sudo make command, if the code is written without error, then there will be no problem. It will compile, but if there is any error, it will show the error. We will have to resolve that error, then only we can proceed. Now what is the error? Double mobile speed is protected within this context. So if you know the basic C++, in class 3 types of variables we can define. Okay, public, protected, and private. So I will show you what is the problem here, why this error is coming. Okay, now the error was double mobile node speed is protected within this context. So where speed is defined, speed is used in mobile node.cc. But as I told you, everything that is used in cc file is defined in h file. So in h file, speed underscore is defined somewhere. Let us see where it is defined. Here. Double speed underscore. How it is defined? In protected mode. Now what we can do? In a casual way, we can just cut it from here and paste it in the public domain. We can do it. No problem in that. Your protocol will work correctly. No problem in that. And I have done it a lot of time. But the correct way is different. But this will work. No problem in that. So first we will check it whether it is working or not. We have copied and pasted it in public domain. Now we have changed the .h file. I told you when we change the .h file, we will have to change 3. We will have to provide 3 steps: sudo make clean, sudo make, and sudo make install. But most of the times only 2 steps work. Okay, So I will try sudo make only. Oh, this time there is no error. It means it worked. Okay. Now the last command is sudo make install. Provide enter. Now let us see what we will be getting if we run the wlm1.tcl again. If we enter it, okay. So now let us see what we got. We got okay, here we are getting the current node is 12 and the speed of the node is something, this we are getting. Now how can we know whether it is correct or not? Okay, if you see it closely, you will have to check also the source code, because sometimes the code of NS2 doesn't work very well. Okay, you have to recompile it if it doesn't work very well. Okay, so you can see the speed of the node is 98.45 meter per second. But if you remember our wlab1.tcl file, we provided the maximum speed as 50 only. So it is not possible the speed to go up to 98 something, and the speed is constantly increasing for nodes. Okay, so it is not possible. So it is something else what is getting printed. So for this purpose, if you get anything like this in your NS2, what you have to do? You will have to sudo make clean again. Okay, since I told you I changed .h file, so that is why I had to give sudo make clean, but I provided only sudo make. So I will give the clean command now. Now again sudo make, it will again take 2 minutes around. Okay. So this is the normal procedure. Every time you change the source code, you will have to recompile it, rebuild the source code. Okay, so it will be going on for 2 minutes around. Okay, so I will give you small tips and tricks also. Every time you work on NS2, when you are writing your protocol, always open two terminals as I have opened. One is for running the TCL file, another one is for compiling the source code. Because you will have to compile source code again and again, then only you can run. And any protocol, if you want to simulate, it will take around 1 month. Okay, if you know your source code very well, around 1 month it will take. Okay, if you don't stuck in any problem, it may be in 15 to 20 days, but not less than that. Okay, so don't worry about the time, because you will be stucking in at many places, then only you will be learning the new things. Okay, so we have cleaned it and reinstalled the code. Okay, so now let us run it again. Now you can see what it is now. Now if you see, the speed of the node is 2, 48, 29, 36. It is never exceeding 50. So by this thing you can understand that it is correct. Okay, it is in between 0 to 50. Okay, so this is how you can understand whether it is correct or not. Earlier it was more than 50, so the value was wrong. We guessed it and we guessed it correct. Why it was wrong? Because we did not provide it sudo make clean command. Okay, so whatever I have covered till now, some points I will be repeating so that everybody can understand. First thing is, whenever you want to change the source code, if you change in .cc file, you will have to provide two commands, sudo make, then after sudo make install you will have to provide. Okay. Now, if you change in .h file, if sudo make clean. If we are changing in .h file sudo make clean, then sudo make install we will have to provide. Okay. Now another thing is, when we should provide sudo /configure as well. Okay, whenever we add one new file in the source codes, a particular new file, for example, we are using these files are here, I am changing in these files, but suppose I am adding my new file, suppose one new .cc file and a new .h file, then what I will have to do, I will have to provide four commands. What four commands? Sudo /configure, then sudo make clean, then sudo make install. These four commands we will have to provide. Okay, sudo /configure first, sudo make clean, sudo make and sudo make install. These four commands we will have to provide. Now, one more thing. If you add any new file, suppose new .cc and new .h, what you will have to do, in this make file .in file, here you will have to open it. Okay, you will have to add your file here in obj_cc. Okay, if you see this, whatever is written in obj_cc in makefile.in, every file name is written here. Whatever we are using in NS 2.34, every file name is written here. Like we are using mobile node, so mobile node, if we search mobile node, okay, so common mobile node.o is here, not cc, because object file is there. So if we add any new file, new .cc and new .h, we will have to enter the path of that particular file here with .o. Suppose in common folder I have written new .cc and new .h file, I will have to provide common new .o. Okay, then only sudo /configure command will work. Sudo /configure, make clean, make and install. Now, what I have done, printf, this means I have got the node ID and node speed. Okay, this is the variable name, we can change it, node 1, node 2, anything. Similar, we will have to change it here. Now, what we want to do, suppose we want to get the coordinates of the node. Similarly, what you can do, just copy paste the command node x underscore, I will write here this one. I will tell you one thing, Here x underscore, y underscore, z underscore are protected, and speed is not, speed we have moved it to public. So that is why we can access speed, but we still cannot use x underscore or y underscore. Okay, but what they have done, some functions are written in public. Okay, x, y, z. What these functions do? They return the value of z underscore, y underscore, x underscore like this. So what we can do? We can directly use x function, x this, or we can directly use speed function. If we use that x coordinate x function, the x coordinate will be provided. Okay, so what we will write, the coordinate of the node is, nodes are, suppose percentage f comma percentage f. What we will write? Two things we will print, node x and node y. Okay. Now let us compile it. So since we have only changed the cc file, just sudo make okay. Now let us run our TCL file. Let us see what we get. So we are getting the coordinates as well. If you remember, we provided the coordinates from 0 to 5000. So let us check. Coordinates of nodes are this only. This only. Okay. So the coordinates are provided in fractions. So what we have got? Node ID, the speed of the node in meter per second, and coordinates of a node. Okay. So it is printing many times. Why it is printing many times? So as many times the data is being sent by any node, this function is getting called, and when this function is getting called, all of these things are printed first, then it will move forward. Okay, now what is there? Let us see. Let us see some more things of a node. Okay, before that, one more thing I will tell you. Index, I have told you, index variable, it is very important. This function is very useful. And one more thing that is useful is this function, scheduler instance clock. Okay. Now, what, suppose we are transmitting a packet, what we will have to do? We want to know at what time we are transmitting it. So printf, we want to get the current time. Current time is space percentage f, because time is in fraction, percentage f we will write, comma, current time. How we will get it? Just simply write this command, scheduler instance dot clock. This command provides what? The current time of when this function is called. Okay, so I will be providing the new line here as well. So what we will print now? The current time, the current node ID, okay, speed of the node and the coordinates of the node. So let us see how it works, or even if it works or not, we will configure it. We will build that source code again, sudo make Okay, computer got a hang little bit. So I am making this again, and there is no error. So I think the code is correct. So let us try to run our TCL file. Okay, so I have built it. So let us see what it shows now. If we run it, okay, current time is coming at the end because we give /n after it. So you can see here the current time we are getting. Okay, 100.26 is written here like this. It is constantly decreasing when we go up. 36.01, the current time is we can get. Okay, here. So this thing you should always remember, index variable you should remember, and this mobile node command. Okay, so what we have learned till now, how to get a particular node ID, which node ID is performing the action, and how to get the properties of that node.